Matt Krueger puts the Thompson Rivers University Wolfpack men's volleyball team through another practice. Matt played 5 years of Canada West volleyball and is now an assistant coach with the team as he completes his degree at TRU. But there's something else you should know about Matt. He has colitis, a condition which causes inflammation and ulcers in his colon.
I went to Korea after my first year here at TRU. Our assistant coach was Dr. And he has a university called SKK, close to Seoul, Korea, and I went there for a summertime to train with their team. And while I was there, I got some sort of bug, bacteria-ish, and it was tryouts for junior national team that summer, so I didn't want to miss that. So I kind of prolonged going to the hospital, going to see a doctor, until it got too bad where I couldn't play volleyball. I was in a game, I had to sub myself out and go to the washroom and just completely leave the game, so I couldn't play anymore. I was that weak. I had lost more than half of blood in my body. Heart and kidneys were starting to shut down, so I had to be in ICU for 4 or 5 days. Then I stayed in the hospital for another 4 or 5 days trying to figure out what's going on, and that's when they figured out it was colitis. My dad has Crohn's, so they figured it's kind of hereditary and genetic sort of thing too, but just the stress and not knowing what it was in Korea kind of sped everything up and caused me to get it at a younger age.
Colitis is a life-threatening illness. It's also one that people don't like to talk about.
I honestly had no idea really what it was. I knew my dad had Crohn's, but I didn't really know the day-to-day struggles he went through having that, just because as a younger person you didn't really realize it. And then when I had it, you realize how much you depend on what you eat, knowing a strict schedule of what you're going to do. Sports is pretty huge because that's 3-4 hours on the court that normally there's no real problems. So with colitis, it's always oh, is something going to happen? Am I going to have to run off? It was just a lot of me being unsure and really not knowing what the future was going to have. And that was probably the scariest part, just realizing what's going to happen next. Am I still going to be able to play? Because at the time when it was life-threatening, it was hey, I might be done after my first year. But it got better, and it slowly got better and better, and now I got to play again.
Krueger says his life has actually become better after learning he has the disease.
That sounds kind of weird to say after having something like that, but in the long run, it's been better. You've realized that life's short, you got to do a lot of things, you got to see some things, travel and hang out with your friends and come back and help out these volleyball guys. And I realized that the sickness doesn't define me. It's not like I'm going to stay at home, be in my room, pout about it. It's hey, I have it, I have colitis, I'm going to go out and still live my life. There's tons of things I still want to do and see, and I'm not going to let this little sickness hold me down.
Being with the Wolfpack was very therapeutic for the native of Abbotsford, BC. Last year, he decided to go public with his disease.
It was a little stressful at first because I didn't know how people would take it. I didn't know what people would think about me personally, but it was also, I wanted to do it so people that were in my shoes knew that someone was there with them. And someone was there. They went through the tough times of taking the harsh drugs with weird side effects that you don't like. He battled through it, and I'm still here coaching. So that was the purpose of me doing it. And I got a lot of awesome feedback. People from all over Canada and the States sent me emails, Facebook messages saying, hey, it's awesome, wanting to talk about it. So for me, that was kind of the icing on the cake, was that the purpose of me doing it, it actually came through and it worked.
And he's still helping others dealing with colitis.
There's one guy from Kamloops who had just been recently diagnosed with it and was having a hard time just like I was. Just kind of the weight of the world is on your shoulders, you don't really know what to do. So I just went and spent an afternoon with him, played with some Lego and Nerf guns, we had a blast, and for the 2 hours I was there, it felt like he kind of forgot what was going on, and that's exactly what happened with me with volleyball. So I was really excited and pumped that I could help a little kid like that kind of forget about it and just enjoy life again for a while.
Krueger has checked with the youngster's teachers over the last year to see how he's doing. With November being Crohn's and Colitis month, he has this message.
Go out and live life. It's a sickness, it's a lot more common than people think. People don't like to talk about it, so I'm trying to throw it out there for the world and people to feel more comfortable with it. But my big thing is don't let it define you. There's no point in you thinking you have a sickness and looking at it as a negative way. I'm trying to see that as a positive way. Go out, talk to people about it, still enjoy life, and life's going to keep passing you by, so don't let it go fast.
For more information on Crohn's and Colitis Canada at www.crohnsandcolitis.ca.